Greetings, friends, and welcome to Enigma Night Gaming. My name is Liyarra, and I will be your guide in today's adventure. Today we're playing World of Warcraft, the Anniversary Burning Crusade edition. And in today's episode, we are going to begin our journey. We are going to recreate Liyarra, and we are going to journey together. In today's episode, we are going to journey through Shadowglen and all of its different quests. So, without further ado, let's hop into the game. Oh boy.
Imprisoned for 10,000 years.
Gotta love it.
Banished from my own homeland.
The drama.
And now you dare enter my realm. You are not prepared.
The line. He said the line, guys. My all-time favorite expansion. I love it so much. Just before she snaps. The epic battle. He's like, I don't have time for you. Oh boy.
You are not prepared.
But are we? Oh boy. I'm excited, guys. Okay, so we are going to remake Liyarra, my Resto Druid, but in Burning Crusade Anniversary Edition. So I'm excited to do that. I'm going to go ahead and make her up, and I will be right back with you guys. Okay. So we have made our character, Liyarra, of course. So now, let's hop in. I'm excited to get started.
For 10,000 years, the immortal Night Elves cultivated a druid
classic
society within the shadowed recesses of Ashenvale Forest. Yet recently, the catastrophic invasion of the Burning Legion shattered the tranquility of their ancient civilization. Led by the Arch-Druid Malfurion Stormrage and the priestess Tyrande Whisperwind, the mighty Night Elves rose to challenge the demonic onslaught. Though victorious, the Night Elves were forced to sacrifice their cherished immortality and watch their beloved forests burn. Seeking to regain their immortality, a number of wayward druids conspired to plant a special tree that would link their spirits to the eternal world. Despite Malfurion's warnings that nature would never bless such a selfish act, the druids planted the great tree Teldrassil off the stormy coasts of northern Kalimdor. Within the twilight boughs of the colossal tree, the wondrous city of Darnassus took root. However, the great tree was not consecrated with nature's blessing, and soon fell prey to the corruption of the Burning Legion. Now the wildlife, and even the limbs of the great tree itself are tainted by a growing darkness. As one of the few night elves still left in the world, it is your sworn duty to defend Darnassus and the wild children of nature against the Legion's encroaching corruption.
All right, we've got a duty, guys. All right, I have set up my UI. That took a little bit of time, and now I'm ready to start questing. So let's go ahead and pick up our first quest.
What brings you here?
Ah, the beauty of Shadowglen never ceases to delight my senses.
May the stars guide you.
Greetings, Liyarra. I am Conservator Ilfalain. My purpose in Shadowglen is to ensure that the balance of nature is maintained. The spring rains were particularly heavy this year, causing some of the forest beasts to flourish while others suffered. Unfortunately, the night saber and thistleboar populations grew too large. Shadowglen can only produce so much food for the beasts. Journey forth, young Druid, and thin the boar and saber populations so that the nature's harmony will be preserved.
Go in peace.
All right. It's our classic quest, guys. We've got to go kill the boars and the cats. So it should be fun. Right now, all I have is Wrath as a power. I mean, I can also auto attack when I run out of mana, which I'm probably going to have to do soon. But that's okay. All right, we'll just attack this one with our staff. It goes pretty quickly, honestly. We only have to do 4 bowls, but then 7 of the night sabers. So hopefully it won't take too terribly long. It's the fun part of being a low-level character. There we go. Of course, when we level up, we'll have to actually manually go train. So that's going to be a fun blast from the past as well. All right. Are there any cats around? Let's see. We got some over here, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, there's some over there. This should be our last boar, though. We're working up our staff. We have it at a whopping 5. All right. And then we'll do, there's a whole bunch of cats over there, so this part at least shouldn't take too terribly long. All right, where is our first overpopulated cat? There we go. Okay, and oh, there's like 3 in a row right here. That's mighty convenient. Actually, there's so many. There's like 5, 6 all right here. I also got some leather boots, which I can go ahead and put on because we have no boots on right now. Okay. And yeah. Got a couple pieces of gear. The days when gray items are a thing that you're happy to have. We got to be mindful of our mana. We have very little. At least for a little while. Eventually we'll get so that we can do things properly. We need, after this one, we need 3 more, because this will be our 4th one. All right. Leveled up. Nice. We'll visit our trainer as well. Okay. And 2 more. This one's going pretty quickly. We've already gained 1 level. And there's our last one. Looks like we have several more quests that we can potentially do here. I think this is from the add-on quest that shows us on the mini-map what quests there are to pick up. I haven't configured it or anything, so it's just whatever the default is. Let's go ahead and pick up this quest.
Ishnuala.
A friend of mine named Ivoran usually visits me at the same time every day. The strange thing is that he hasn't been by today at all. He's several hours late, in fact. I admit, I am a little worried, Liyarra. Ivoran spends a lot of time over by the cave to the north, and I'm sure you know how dangerous it is there. Spiders everywhere. If you happen to be going that way, though, will you keep an eye out for him? All right, so we'll have to
Dolanaar.
look for him. All right. We got a quest here.
Ishnu del Diab.
Thank goodness you are here, Druid. Strange news has traveled to me through the whisperings of the forest spirits. The mysterious woodland protector, Tarindrala, has returned to Shadowglen. The Dryad's presence has not been felt in the forests of Kalimdor in years. Something is surely amiss if she has journeyed back to this land. Seek out Tarindrala and see what business she tends to in our grove. One of the sentinels reported seeing her to the southwest of Aldrassil.
Goodbye.
All right, well, we can definitely take care of that for sure. All right, and then I think that's the quest as we're leaving Shadowglen, but let's go ahead and turn this quest in. Oh, there she is.
I am honored.
Ah, the beauty of Shadowglen never ceases to delight the senses.
Farewell.
You performed your duties well, Liyarra. I love the little claps. All right, so we don't have either gloves or bracers. So let's go for gloves because it's way more armor. We could
Good
use
luck,
it.
Dolanaar.
This sigil was given to me by a messenger from our druid trainer, Mardant. It seems Mardant would have words with you when you have a moment. Read it and bring it to him afterwards.
Farewell.
Okay.
Dolanaar.
Thinning the younger population of creatures here in Shadowglen was a good start, Liyarra, but there is still work to be done. The resources of the forest will be depleted too quickly if the problem is not addressed. Killing nature's beasts is a necessary evil for the good of all who share the land. Venture into the forest and slay mangy night sabers and thistle borers in the name of balance. So now we go to the next level of creatures. Let's go ahead and equip our gloves. All right, so I think we want to go over here to talk to Mardant. We need to read this, though. When word reached me that you were ready, I sent the sigil immediately. All of Cenarius' druids take great satisfaction in seeing our numbers bolster. The spirits even seem to have become stronger with our enhanced presence. In time and with some patience, hopefully our strength will return to its former grandeur. Find me near the top of Aldrassil when you are ready. I will be your guide as long as you are in Shadowglen. Okay. Anything else? We're already wearing a vest, so we don't need that. What we need to do is to be able to sell. So let's see. Let's sell to her.
What brings you here?
Okay. So we don't need this because we have something better. This is just junk. All of this is just junk. All right. And honestly, I feel like I really don't need to be carrying the water at this point in time.
Watch over you.
Because honestly, I recover it so quickly that I don't think it's necessarily important to carry it around. Not at this level. Maybe later when we have more health, more mana, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so it's not up this way. Is it along the outside of the tree? Maybe there's I think there's a way up over here. There we go. So we'll head up and go talk to our trainer and see what kind of spells we can train up. We have 1 silver and 12 copper. At this level, that should be enough to at least train our level 2 powers. We're at that nice little game where everything is basically no money ever. Where you have to have your life savings to even start a guild, for example. But that's okay. because we are making our way in the world. Honestly, this is the way I leveled my original Liyarra. Here we are.
I'm listening.
Welcome, my sister. If you are here to train, then I would be delighted to train you. There will be a time soon where the call of the Emerald Dream will take hold in you. You will hibernate for many years and walk amongst the purest of forms. It is there, then, that your ultimate training will take place.
May the stars.
Ah, young Druid, I see you are eager to continue your studies. Good. I wonder, have you spent much time in the Emerald Dream already? Perhaps you're not prepared for that yet. In time, I'm sure. But until then, we should discuss other matters.
Good luck, friend.
I will be your mentor and guide for now. It is my duty to teach you how to interpret not only what the spirits communicate to us, but also the complexities and secrets of the Emerald Dream. As you learn and grow in power, you will learn more of our sleeping trance. But until then, return to me as often as you like, and I will teach you what I can in the ways of our kind.
Go in peace.
Alright, what can you train me? Alright, let's go ahead and only show available. So we'll have Mark of the Wild. That'll be nice.
Good luck, friend.
So we will go ahead and actually, instead of dragging it to the bar, I think we will just see if we can, let's see. So we can add it here. Mark of the Wild. Yeah, okay. So I think that will be good. All right. Now we've got it. Awesome. Okay, so now we need to find the Dryad, and we need to find Ivorin, I think his name was, by the spiders. And then we have some more creatures to take out. But we saw the Dryad. She was like over here somewhere, I think. Or maybe she was up over here. Yeah, there she is. I remember she was near the conservator. Alright, let's go see what she wants.
What is nature's call?
I see you found me, young night elf. Milithar is wise druid to have sent you.
Is there trouble?
Something evil is brewing in the forest of Teldrassil. Look along the hills to where the peaceful furbolgs used to dwell. They have deserted their homes and are amassing under the name of the Gnarlpine tribe. Only the corruption of wicked Felmoss could cause such a transformation. The Growls and Growlkin have infested the area and are threatening the residents of Shadowglen. Engage these Growls and Growlkin, Liyarra, and see if they are indeed caught under the enchantment of the wicked Felmoss. Alright, we can do that. They're right over here. We still only have our 1 power, but that's okay. I'm going to try not to use all my mana, though. We will do about half of Wrath, and then use our staff for the rest. And I got a cloak. I think I don't have a cloak, right? Yeah, I don't have a cloak, so I'm going to put that on. That'll give us a little bit more armor, which is always a good thing. And we're about a little over halfway, I think, to level. And we got a belt. We don't have a belt either. It's a cloth, but we can still wear it. Alright, that's more armor. We're getting there. It'll be a while yet before we have green armor. I think we won't see any green armor until we leave the starter area. But this is a journey, so it's fine. These guys hit pretty hard. We might actually have to end up healing ourselves. Let's see. Alright. How many more do we need? We need 6 more Felmoss, and I think they're basically dropping at 100% rate. At least it seems to be. So we'll see. Alright. At least they're very plentiful around here, and we're not having to run all over Kingdom Come to find some more. So that is definitely progress. We're about halfway after this guy, assuming he drops one, which I rather suspect he will. But we'll see. Oh, he didn't. Shop. Okay, so maybe it's not 100%. We're going to get that chest, too. I don't think it's locked. It doesn't appear to be locked. I want to see what's in it. Maybe we'll have some good gear that will help us. We still haven't gotten any new armor yet. Okay, but we are getting money, and that's a good thing. Let's open the chest. Okay, just some chain pants. It's not really going to help us. All right. And then we'll use our staff. What is our staff up to, I wonder? It's a little slow. So we have 10 points. I think it goes up to... I'm not sure what it goes up to, honestly. I could look. Well, right now we can go up. Okay, we have trained our maximum level of staffs. We could technically unequip this and train up our unarmed. Because we can only get 10 points right now. Might as well, right? I am going to heal up, though. And we'll work on training up our unarmed until we get to 10 anyways. I don't know why it says that's an upgrade. I can't wear chain. I can't wear mail. Alright. 5 fell moss. Only have 3 more to go. We can also, if we get a dagger, we could train that up. And then we'll have all of our weapon proficiencies trained up to maximum. I know it's probably a little silly because when am I, as a druid, ever going to be doing unarmed combat? But it's just a fun little thing that we can always do. When they added achievements, there was one, did somebody order a knuckle sandwich? And that was for getting maximum unarmed skill. And that's now no longer an achievement you can obtain because they took that out of retail. But I got it. I know in Karazhan, which I hope to be able to raid in this expansion, we used to, as spellcasters, train up our unarmed. Oh, now I can go up to 15. We used to train up our unarmed by... there were these mobs that were immune to spell damage. And so everyone would just start leveling up their weapons because we weren't doing any spell damage to those mobs. So it really didn't matter one bit if we were casting spells or what. So it was just the perfect opportunity while the melee did their thing. We're at 13 and we need 2 more Felmoss. We're also leveling up our defense, which that is actually a good thing because we need our defense pretty much maximum at all times so that when we do get hit by things, it's easier for us to dodge, take the damage, not take so much damage. Only need 1 more point in unarmed and then we can re-equip our staff. I wonder if we'll get it in this fight. Will we? We're at 14 now. Ooh, he dodged. Gotta heal. Yeah, we got our defense to 14. That last point is always a difficult one. It takes a little while. That's okay. I mean, we had gotten 10 out of 15 on our staff, so it's not like it's going to take ages. But we did get all of our Felmoss. So we'll move on to the next quest, which is the Mangy Night Sabers and the Thistleboar. All right, so let's go get us some mangy night sabers and normal thistle boars. So I believe we're going to have to head a little farther on. Oh, and we do have a quest over here that we can pick up. I think since we leveled up to the next level, that's what lets us get that. So let's talk to him.
I am listening.
I came to Shadowglen to observe the webwood spiders that dwell in the Shadowthread Cave. They are cousins to a much smaller variety of spider. I believe the world tree has a profound effect on them, and I would like specimens to study to confirm this. First, I would like some of their venom. Gather webwood venom sacs from the spiders in and around the Shadowthread Cave to the north. I can then examine them for similarities with their smaller cousin's venom. All right, so we'll need to get spiders, which I think that's convenient because we already have to head there. And I think before we make our way over there, we're going to go ahead and sell our items. Let me check out this belt. That's 3 armor. This is 3 armor, so it's the same thing, so we won't worry about that. But I am going to run back here and empty my bags real fast so that when... Because we only have a limited amount of bag space right now.
My goods are of the
and I
highest
want to make
quality.
sure not to sell my staff because I will need that. Oh yeah, and we need the fell moss.
Mashallah.
Oh yeah, I should probably... Do we
Please
have
stay with
anything that
me.
needs repairing? We do.
Go in peace.
We'll just make sure we're repaired. Now we're ready to face some spiders. So I'll meet you guys over there. So I decided I better go ahead and turn in her quest before I head on over there. So
Hi.
let's see what she has to say. Satisfy my suspicions, Liyarra. Bring to me 8 fell moss.
Ah, the great outdoors.
Your service to the creatures of Shadowglen is worthy of reward, Liyarra. You confirmed my fears, however. If the growls have become tainted by the fell moss, one can only imagine what has become of the Gnarlpine tribe of the Furbolgs who once lived here. Should you find yourself in Dolanaar, able Druid, seek out the knowledgeable Druid, Arthritis Baremantle. He shares our concern for the well-being of the forest. All right, so we could get some leggings. That's 29 armor, which is way better than what we have now. So let's go for that. Okay, there was no follow-up quest, but that's okay. I just wanted to make sure, because you never know. Either way, we really could use that armor. So, I mean, it's going to come in useful as we face down all of these creatures that we're about to have to fight. I think we're going to run into the mangy night savers and the thistle boars first. So we'll go ahead and take them out and then head over to the spiders, although it may be kind of mixed. We'll just see. All right, so we have some thistle boars here. Let's go ahead and get them attacked. And we still need 1 more point of our unarmed, which we're working up for funsies, just because we can. Literally no other reason than because it's amusing. And it's a thing to do. This was in a world before achievements were a thing. And so we just want to make sure... There we go. Now I can equip my staff and level up my staff. This will go a little faster now, too, because my staff actually does damage. And then once we start getting some of our forms, our Druid forms, this will go even faster. The one thing that does make me a little sad about this is this was a time before you could... this was a time before inscription, and so you couldn't use the inscription to change your owlkin, your moonkin form from an owlkin into your star form druid self, which is how whenever I play balance, that's how I play. So originally Liyarra was never... She was always resto, and I just kept a set of equipment on so that I could do feral and so that I could do bear form, but it was never officially a tank or officially a melee DPS. And I certainly couldn't do balance because that required you to go down that talent tree. And since I didn't have that talent, it was only just casting as a resto. Which, you know, it's a thing. It could be done, but... What's our staff at? 13? And our defense is 14. If we ever get a dagger, we'll be able to train that up as well. And then you can also visit the different weapon masters in the different capital cities and train up other weapons as well. So that might be a thing that we do once we reach those areas. That'll be something fun to do. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and get the rest of these Thistleborers and Nightsabers. And then we'll be ready to move on to the next one. We only need... We're going to need a few more Nightsabers and one more Thistlebore. So it's going to take just a few more minutes and then we'll be ready for the spiders. Alright, this is our last Thistlebore. Now all we need is 5 more mangy Nightsabers. So let's get them. Alright, we're on our last Nightsaber. We have managed to get our defense up to 15. We still need 1 more point in stabs though. I'm not sure if we'll get it before we level up. Oh, never mind. We just got it. So we are all maxed out on our weapon skills. And now we have our final mangy Nightsaber. So we are ready to go get these webwood venom sacks. And it also said that her friend is over by the cave. So we will see about that before we head into the cave. But there may be some spiders we run into outside of the cave. We'll just have to see, because these guys are actually hostile to us, so we will have to defend ourselves against them. Alright. I mean, we need 10 of the webwood venom sacks anyways, so it's kind of a good thing. Okay. There's one. Well, never mind. He got him. We'll just move on. This was also a time before quest sharing. So if somebody got your quest item or your mob that you were attacking before you did, you didn't get credit for it. That was one nice feature that they've added, but, you know.
Ishnu Allah.
I'm so glad you found me, Liyarra. How did you know I was here? I was bitten very badly by a spider named Githis the Vile while exploring the spider cave very close to here. I am sure I have been seriously poisoned. You must help me. Please tell Durania Silvershine. She will be able to help me. Hurry, I'm so dizzy.
Be careful.
Alright, well, let's go take care of that first. Because I believe the follow-up quest... Well, we'll go ahead and take care of this spider. But I believe the follow-up quest takes us into the cave anyways. And also, we have leveled up a couple of levels since we last trained. So I want to go train because we'll get some more spells. And maybe we'll get some more powers that will help us to combat these spiders. And we can also empty our bags once again. So I will continue on my way back to turn the quest in, and if I see any spiders along the way, then I will take care of them. But I think this is the last one anyways. And then I will meet you guys back here once we have arrived at the lady we need to turn the quest into. Alright, so since we actually completed the Balance of Nature quest, we can go ahead and turn that in, and then we will go over to that area and turn the quest in for the
Greetings.
spiders. And then we'll see what we have. You have proven yourself. You have proven your dedication to nature well, Liyarra. A young druid like yourself has a promising future. I love how he keeps clapping at us like we've just done like something amazing. So we have 3 armor or... Ooh, okay, we're going to go for the belt because that is much more armor. And you can see my bags are like super full right now. So we definitely want to sell. And actually, I want to go train as well. So I will meet you guys at the trainer because you don't want to watch me run around at slow speed. So I'll see you there. All right. So let's see what new powers Mardant has for us to train. So we have Moonfire. That will be good. And Rejuvenation, our first hot. All right, so I want to go ahead and add that to Voodoo. Rejuvenation. Okay. And then we need to, this is not new, WoW, so we need to make sure to pull our spells out. And you notice they have ranks as well. So we will also need to remember to pull our spells out when we rank up so that we're always using the latest rank. Now, there was some mini-maxing you could do where you would cast a lesser rank if you needed lesser heals and stuff, but to be honest, I never did that. I always just used the max rank and dealt with the consequences, so I don't know, maybe that makes me not as good a healer, but hey, I made it through and it was fun, so that's what matters, right? So now we're going to sell our gear, and then we're going to head over to tell her about her friend and how he's been poisoned. So I will meet you over there momentarily. All right, so we have sold. We are good. Our bags are empty, and now we are ready to tell her about her friend. Oh dear, I was wondering why I hadn't seen Ivran yet today. I've always warned him about those spiders.
Be careful.
We may be able to help Ivran, as I know of an antidote that should help with the poison. It requires some ingredients, though, before I can make it. I'll need hyacinth mushrooms. You can find these growing under trees, or you may collect them from the Grell south of here. They seem to have taken a liking to them. I'll also need moon petal lilies, which only grow around watery pools. The last ingredient may prove the most difficult. From the very spiders that poisoned Ivran, collect webwood ichor. All right. Well, it's a good thing that we haven't yet killed the spiders because we're already going to have to kill them again for the webwood ichor. So I think we will be able to gather the hyacinth mushrooms first. It said they were up by the Grell, which were up over here. Oh, they're also under the trees. So we'll need 7 of these. So we'll collect these up. And then we'll be able to build our antidote. There's another one over here. We're currently level 4. And we're, let's see, 24% through level thereabouts. So it's going pretty well, I think. We're almost to level 5. Which is a pretty good start. Alright, let's get... I'm not going to bother with killing the Grells right now, because I don't know if it's 100% drop. I'm going to get this. I might get that chest again, though, because, you know, money. We could always use the money. We'll get what we can. Alright. Is that belt an upgrade? No, it's not. Okay, we need 4 more mushrooms. Well, 3 more after this one. At least they seem pretty plentiful. We're not having to search all over creation for them, which is a good thing. It's just a little slow actually picking them up, but that's totally fine. After this one, we will need 1 more. I know technically we could probably kill the Grelkin and it would help increase our level even faster. But to be honest, I enjoyed leveling for the experience, not necessarily to see how fast I could speed through the levels. I feel that's one of the things that has kind of dampened my desire for the retail WoW is, I mean, it's all great that you can level to a max level character in no time at all, but there's such a pressure on time now. Like, used to be in Burning Crusade, which is basically, I mean, I did technically play in vanilla, but I hit, here's our flowers that we need. I hit level 60 the day before Burning Crusade came out, so I never raided in vanilla. And the leveling experience through the vanilla areas is still the same even after Burning Crusade came out. It wasn't until Cataclysm came out that all of that stuff changed. But so Burning Crusade was basically my first expansion as far as raiding goes. And I really enjoyed the experience of, here's the expansion, here's all the raids you could do. Now, I don't know if all the raids were open day one, but they never became obsolete. It was never like, oh, well, we're never raiding Karazhan. It was once you hit level 70, if you needed gear, you needed to go raid Karazhan. So there was always people raiding Karazhan. Now we're going to start killing the spiders. We're going to actually make our way into the cave because we need to kill the spider that poisoned him, right? I assume. Unless we find it on our way in. But yeah, so there was always, you were always raiding the different raids. And as you geared up, you were able to progress to the next tier of gear. You went from tier 4 with Karazhan into tier 5, which was, what was it? It was Steambolts or, no, I think that was the dungeon, but it was the one that was in Zanger Marsh. And then, you know, also Mount Hyjal was a tier 5 raid. So you would raid those raids, and then you moved on to Black Temple. That was like the top tier raid of Burning Crusade. And I liked that it was available the whole time. You didn't have to rush to get through it. You could actually just enjoy the content. And when you did get done and you had all the best gear that you wanted, you could just, you know, roll an ult and enjoy it a second time. But nowadays, it's so rushed. You have seasons, season 1, season 2, season 3, and then maybe a season 4, but if not, it's just new expansion time again. And you don't really have a time to enjoy, you don't really have a time to enjoy the content, really. Which is why I enjoy just enjoying the world. I always thought that the classic worlds were really pretty. I mean, look at how gorgeous this is. By the way, we are heading back. We got all the items we needed for Ivern's antidote. So we're going to head back to her so that we can save him before we go get our last 4 Webwood Venom Sacks. But yeah, I really enjoyed the actual questing progress. I used to play an absolute ton of ults because leveling was so much fun. But with the speed of leveling increased, the fun that was associated with that drastically decreased. They were majorly pushing in-game content, which, don't get me wrong, I always enjoyed in-game content, but that wasn't the only reason why I was playing the game. You know, I was also playing the game for the experience. And that experience is just, I mean, sad to say, it's just degraded in retail. It's very rushed, and you level too quickly. Which is great if you're just coming back to the game and you want to get to a rating level quickly, but at the same time, those of us who prefer a more relaxed leveling speed.
What brings you here?
Please, collect the ingredients, Liyarra. Ivra needs our help. Yeah, I know, and here I am
Goddess
chit-chatting.
watch over you.
Thank Elune that you have gathered these ingredients so quickly. In just a moment, I will have the antidote prepared.
Farewell.
The antidote is ready, Liyarra. Please see that Ivern drinks it. There is something that you should know. The antidote. It will only remain viable for 5 minutes. You must get it to him in time. Speed be with you, Liyarra.
Goddess watch over you.
This quest is another example of things that don't exist in retail anymore. I cannot tell you the last time there was actually a timed quest, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because, I mean, you had to do this quest immediately. They do have quests where as soon as you accept it, mobs spawn, but you can always reinitiate it later and such. It's not, I don't know, it's not really the same thing. But this one, I have failed this one in the past before because I went off and did other quests first because I forgot about it. And then, you know, you had to run all the way back and get a new vial of potion to save him. But, you know, it's just one of those things that adds a bit of realism. Like, oh my goodness, we need to get to him before he dies from the poison. We gotta hurry, you know. It gives a bit of immersion, if you will. Which I really enjoy. Alright, so we're gonna run over to him. We got plenty of time because he's literally right around this corner. And then I believe we will be able to head back in. Can I avoid that spider? I can. All right. Yeah, we had plenty of time. 3 minutes and 37 seconds. All right, here you
How
go.
may I help?
Oh, Liyarra, I'm so glad you have returned.
Alone light your
What is
path.
this, Liyarra? Oh, I know Durania would be able to help me. He drinks the antidote. I'm always getting into trouble in Durania. Well, she always manages to help me out of it. I'm feeling much better, but I think I will sit here for a while longer until I feel completely better. Well, that, and I was hoping you'd clear a path for me through those vicious webwood spiders. Of course you did. All right, what do we have for pants? 29. Those are cloth. So we'll just grab the chain vest because it sells for more money. All right. So now we just need to get our webwood venom sacks. And then I believe there is also a quest inside if we make it all the way in. So we're gonna head in and get all of the webwood venom sacks, and then we're gonna try and make it to, I forgot the name of the spider that he said, but the spider that poisoned him. Because I believe we can pick up one of her eggs and get some more experience. So we're just going to work our way through this cave. Little bit by little bit. I'm glad they don't poison me. Well, you know, I literally said that and then got poisoned. I don't have a cleanse yet. It's okay. I can heal myself though, so it's not as bad. Not bad as bad as poor Ivron, who apparently must have been a warrior and couldn't even heal himself. Alright, it's gonna be a bit of a journey through this cave. So once we get to the opening over here, I will meet you guys back. Alright, we are almost to the top where we need to be. That is the spider. Githyanus, the vial. We have just leveled up. So I believe there is an egg over there that we can grab for an extra quest. Although I think once we get to the end of here, I think we actually drop off and have to run around again. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've been in this cave. But just for funsies, I've been leveling up my skills. I know we just leveled up, but I was doing pretty good with unarmed. We had everything but stabs maxed, but then we got 5 more points. So now we got to start all over again. But yeah, I think this is a drop off, and then there's a little path that runs up that way. We'll be able to see in just a moment. Having the rejuve has been super helpful because I can just pop it on and keep fighting. It makes it super nice to be able to do these quests. Yeah. So then we just drop down. Okay. I don't know. Okay, the one behind did not aggro. I was worried that that one would aggro, but it did not. So I think we're going to have maybe one more mob that we'll have to fight after that one. We'll see. Alright. Oh, he resisted my moonfire. How dare you? How dare you, sir? Take your moonfire like a proper spider ought to. We've been doing pretty good. We've got our skills are leveling up nicely. And we'll be able to train maybe another rank of something. I'm not sure. Usually it seems that you get new powers on even levels and then like new ranks on odd ones, but I don't know if that's always true. We'll just have to see. There may be some levels where we don't get anything. I'm not sure. I know we'll be able to get... Oh, there was 3 more after that. We'll be able to get our new talent tree, start putting points into our resto talent tree at 10, I believe, is when we get our first point. Now, the way Classic worked is you didn't have to pick resto and only get to choose from that tree. You could put points into all 3 trees if you wanted to. They were all side by side, which was really nice. We'll be able to check that out when we get closer to level 10. But right now, we're level 5. We are almost done with the starter area. If I recall correctly, we have, after this little quest hub, we have like one little quest to do, and then it should send us on our way to Dolanaar. And that is our goal for this episode, is to get to Dolanaar. That is essentially the first real town. This is the starter area where they're introducing you to everything. And so things are not quite, they don't hit hard. Most of the mobs are neutral. It's fine. But then once we get to Dolanaar, that's when things are going to start to get a little more difficult. It's also when we're going to start getting a ton of quests. And the Night Elf area, I don't know if it's because Night Elves were considered like maybe for more professional players, maybe they wanted you to play like humans if you were kind of newer to the game. I'm not sure. What I do know is the human quests are way easier. I don't think there is an elite mob in the human quest area at the beginning anyways. And I know for a fact there is an elite mob in the Night Elf area because I have died to that elite mob many a time in the past. So let's see. I think maybe not. Maybe we'll have to come back in here. I thought you could pick up one of these eggs, but it may be that we have to come back in here. That's okay, though. We'll just head out of the cave. Try and avoid some of the mobs, but I will fight my way out of here. And I will see you guys back at the Webwood Venom quest turn-in. So we'll see how that goes, and I'm going to work up my... unarmed and stabs in the meantime. So I will see you guys once we get out of this cave and back to the quest giver. Alright, we have made it out of the cave. We didn't quite level up our unarmed to 25, but we did get our defense to 25. So that last point, like I said, sometimes it just takes a bit. But also our bags are basically completely full. So we definitely need to sell and probably repair because we've been getting beat on quite a bit. We're at 77% durability, just getting beat on by all the different mobs. But let's go ahead and turn this quest in, and then we'll also train, and we'll see what new goodies that we have in store for us.
Hello,
Did you gather the venom sacks, Liyarra?
dear Madras.
Thank you, Liyarra. When I return to Darnassus, I will compare the venom with within these sacks with the venom of other spiders. It is my belief that it will have the properties linked to the recent growth of our new world tree. All right, so we could get a staff, which would be fine, but I think I'm going to get a dagger so we can level up our daggers. Now that I have the spider's venom, I'd like some live specimens to study. Unfortunately, capturing a living giant spider is more than I can ask of you, young druid, and a giant spider is more than I can handle myself. But if you can find an unhatched egg, then delivering specimens will be much easier, and I can then arrange for the unhatched spiders to be contained. There must be a nest deep in the Shadow Thread cave. Please search for an egg in the nest and return it to me. All right, so we can get the egg. I was just a quest too early. You know, in the retail version, the way they've changed is you can just pick it up right away. It's been so long since I've done the classic version. I had completely forgotten that you needed to turn in that quest first. And, you know, maybe it's not as streamlined, but at the same time, when leveling was slower, this gave you the opportunity to earn more experience in a more natural way, in a way that was just kind of going with the flow. Instead of having to go out of your way to kill mobs, it was just in the process of questing.
What brings you here?
All right, what can we learn? Can we learn anything? Oh, we can learn nothing. But it looks like next level we'll be able to learn some stuff. Although that guy seems to only have 2 more things to teach me. So I'm guessing he doesn't teach us everything. And we'll be out leveling this zone before too much longer. We're about halfway through level 5. So 44.25%. And then we'll be able to... maybe we'll be able to train next level. I mean, like I said, I think at least for a while you get new powers at even levels. Maybe you don't necessarily get new powers. Maybe you just only get anything at even levels, and at odd levels there's just nothing to train. That could be it. It could just be misremembering it in that manner. So we're going to sell, and then I guess we're going to head back into the cave and be exactly where we were before. So, whoops, I don't want to sell my staff. I'm going to buy back my staff. So I guess I will see you guys back here once I have made it right back to that spider again. So I'll see you guys in a few. Okay, we have made it back, and we actually managed to level up all of our weapon skills to 25 out of 25. So that was pretty cool. A nice little exercise. I mean, it's not necessarily the most exciting thing to level up your weapon skills, but it is useful. It's a thing that is important. Now we can just grab our egg, and then I think we're just gonna hearth out. That should take us back to that first quest giver. This was back when I think a Hearthstone, it has a 1 hour cooldown instead of in retail where it's like 15 minutes. You gotta plan your hearths very carefully. But I think we will do that because then we can turn this in. And I think after that, we should be in our final little quest chain for this area, if I'm not mistaken.
Greetings,
Have you been inside the Shadow Thread cave, Liyarra? Did you find a spider egg?
dear Madras.
I did indeed. Very good. I will have this egg and the venom transported to Darnassus, then return there when my studies are done here. I expect to find a great deal from these specimens, Liyarra. You have been a great help to me. I'm glad to help. I think we're gonna get the tunic.
Goodbye.
Liyarra, is it? I heard that Teneron has been asking for you. You'll find him in the highest room atop Aldrassil. We may live long lives, but it's best you not keep him waiting too long.
Ashar Selah.
Alright, so we just gotta make our way to the top here. We're going to equip our new leather chest piece. Now, we did max out our weapon skills, but we're almost 90% through level, so we're going to have to level them up 5 more points again. But you know what? That's part of the fun. To me, it's not a burden. Maybe some people might find it tedious or cumbersome to have to level up all of these different weapons. I've always enjoyed it. I don't think we have anything to train for him because we haven't leveled up yet. I don't think we'll level up from this quest. I think this should be, if I'm not mistaken, he's going to ask us to go get water from that pool. But let's see.
I am honored.
Liyarra, I was hoping you'd be prompt in answering my summons. I have an important task I would like you to perform.
Go in peace.
It is time for you to set out to seek your destiny, Liyarra. But before you are ready to set out into the world beyond our enchanted forest, there is much you must learn about our recent history. Much has changed with our people since the Battle of Mount Hyjal. Nordrassil lies a pale shadow of what it once was. Its power used to defeat Archimonde and drive back the Burning Legion. There is a task you must perform. Go to the Moonwell, north of Aldrassil, and return to me a phial of its water.
May
All
the
right.
stars guide you.
Now, achievements aren't a thing in Classic, but in Retail, you get a floating buff so that you can jump off the edge there and get the going down achievement. Which is basically you have to fall so far without dying. I think you can jump off and not die, but you'll get really low. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while since I've done it without the fly buff that you get. Well, it's like a float buff. All right, so we're going to head over to that pool of water. And we're going to fill up this phial that we have. The Shadowglen Moonwell. I really like Shadowglen. It's so pretty. All of the colors and just the greenery. And if you ever play just listening to the quiet, peaceful sounds of nature around you, it just sounds so nice. I think that's one of the reasons why I wasn't a fan of Wrath of the Lich King, because all of the areas felt like death and decay and like so depressing compared to this. Now, granted, I'm talking about the expansion now that is my favorite, where we go into Outlands. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Even in Outlands, you've still got areas like Nagrand. And that's a nice area. So, I don't know. I think there are some good things and some bad things. But I think we've done pretty good so far. We have gone from level 1 to almost level 6. I don't know if we're going to get to level 6 by turning in this quest. If we don't hit level 6, it's going to be really, really, really close. But that's okay, because we can still level up after we get to Dolanaar. There will be plenty of quests there. So now we just got to run all the way back up this tree again. So I'll meet you guys there. I swear we're getting our steps in today, guys. We've made it back to the top.
Peace be with you.
The Moonwells hold the waters of the Well of Eternity, the ancient source of magic that has wrought so many horrors upon our world. The Druids take advantage of its properties, and the Sentinels revere the wells as shrines to Elune, but sorcery is forbidden to all.
Denadris.
So you have heard the first part of the aftermath of the Battle of Mount Hyjal. There is much more to be told, and the task you have begun here will continue through the rest of your journey through Teldrassil and into Darnassus. You did level up. While there is more I could speak of to you in the moon's end of Teldrassil, I must send you along. Korthras Moonrage will be expecting you. I have poured the phial of water you brought to me into this vessel to bring to him. Seek out Korthras. You will find him at the Moonwell in Dolanaar. Follow the road south from Aldrassil out of Shadowglen, and continue to follow the cobblestones as the road turns west. Mind you stay on the road though, Liyarra. There are dangerous beasts in the forest of late. Alright, so before we leave, we're gonna visit our trainer one final time. I suspect that we will be able to train the last 2 powers he had, but I am uncertain. We will see though. Let's see. Can we train him? We can. Thorns and Wrath rank 2.
Good luck, friend.
So this is what I was saying, is you always have to drag out the latest version. We'll bring out Thorns. All right. We have done it. So now our journey will take us out towards Dolanaar. I think the road is... Yep, out that way. So we're going to head down that road in our journeys. And so we have finished our time here in Shadowglen. It's time to move on, time to move to Dolanaar. Our path lies ahead, and all we must do is walk it. But that will be in the next episode. So if you guys like this kind of content, please make sure to like, subscribe, follow, share, all that good stuff. If you want to watch live, we're on Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble, and the links are in the description. If you want to see which games we're playing each day, I post them on x.com/Liyarra27. And I hope you'll join me in the next one. Until then, guys, bye.